Fanboy Modeling School. Hello and welcome to Fanboy Modeling School. I am the Fat Mantis, now in HD. I'm here with my brother.
Steve, real name, no gimmicks. I survived snowpocalypse. The drive home. I survived.
Yeah, I cannot, for starters, you're a sucker.
So
We're going to work today.
I'm a sucker.
I said you're a sucker. You heard me, motherfucker.
So obviously this is a Fanboy After Dark episode.
Oh yeah, I know. I'm feeling crazy. I'm feeling zany. I'm ready. There's a lot of hell I want to give this world. But first, I want to give a shout out to people who are already in our chat. I know many more are on their way.
Right.
But shout out to Shaolin Iceboxer, the lovely Lanio. We've got Matt Cat 7000. What up, Broham? Dragon Lady. Hello, all. Hold Up TV. How'd he get in chat? Laney says, "Oh, Matt, I'm taking a bit of break and trying to figure some things out." Right. She was referring to our show, Mothership Monday. Matt Cat says, "Well, when you get it all together, and I wish you all the best at that, I will be the first in line to see what you have prepared." Oh, you guys are so sweet to one another. I love it.
No, they're not dreads yet, Matt. Matt, it's expensive. I need $200 to get starter locks. 200.
Yo, you should do a fund me. Go fund me for help me get dreads.
I think that would be the most vain thing on earth.
Yo, have you seen GoFundMe? They used to be about medical bills, and now it's just like, yo, I want to pierce my dick. GoFundMe.
You gotta help me get this cash up.
Exactly. These people, the kids out in these streets, man. I'll tell you. How are you doing tonight?
I'm doing good, brother. I'm doing good, man. I was listening to some old school Star Report on the, when I thought I was gonna die, and I was like, who better than
You want to die? Go listening to Star. Okay.
Like a real New York cat. And it occurred to me, man. It occurred to me that there's so much tomfoolery going on in media right now, and it's still dry at the same time, that my algorithm on YouTube is completely screwed up.
Oh, you mean like in terms of like news and stuff?
Yeah,
there's nothing going out in these streets.
There's nothing to report on, but yet there's still stuff to report on. You got people from Geeks and Gamers being stalked by weirdos, right? You got John Campia reporting on one of the topics we're going to report on tonight. He usually never covers the "I heard to the grapevine this movie sucked," but we're going to get into that. Aquaman 2, right?
Right, we're definitely going to talk Aquaman 2. We're going to, I want to talk about Aquaman 2, and I want to talk about collectively all these reports of all these movie screenings that supposedly people have seen, who they can't drop their names, they can't reveal who they are, but they've seen this, that, and the other thing. We're going to talk about that. Big topics I want to hit up tonight. Everything going down in Florida with Disney and the government.
Oh yeah. The war continues. Man.
Continues. But do you have any honorable mentions?
So my patron saint, 50 Cent, aka Curtis Jackson, dropped a mega bomb on hip hop lovers, or I should say mainstream rap enthusiasts, and said that Future, the rapper, hear the words. Make sure you hear it before you rebuttal. Future, the rapper, is more relevant in these streets being clubs, radio stations, what the kids want to hear, than Jay-Z. Your thoughts?
I mean, if you're talking about right at this very moment, I would say yes. If we mean collectively over time or history,
No,
probably not.
Jay-Z. No, well, Jay-Z was in a much better place at the age of 39 and 40 than Future is.
Oh yeah, and he was
Like,
more influential, and he carried more weight, and
yeah,
Future's just like another thing. But I'm talking about in terms of like right. Remember, music is about popularism, and popularism is about right now. Who is hot
yeah,
right now?
yeah, who's hot right now?
Like, it doesn't matter if you're the king of pop your entire life.
Right.
If one young punk comes out with an album that's better than yours, currently that is the reigning champion.
Right. So, and I would not disagree with that sentiment, man. And Future is probably more relevant with younger people and club music, because I can't think that people are still busting open Big Pimpin' in the clubs and shit like that. Even though if it came on, I'm sure everyone would get to the dance floor, right? But here's the thing that's really crazy to me, right? Doesn't matter that Future is popping in the streets when you think about Future. Like when you think about Future as an artist, at what point do we just go, but this is bad? I don't care if everyone loves it. This music is bad.
My rebuttal to what you were saying is I don't think about Future. Like I hear him featured on songs. I'm like, oh, it's Future.
I don't even know what he's saying most of the time. And I'm a person that loves to try to give people their chance, and I'm really altruistic in my approach and being accepting of different worldviews, as you know, Mantis. That was a fucking lie. That's not me at all. I
saw how you treated that Korean vendor the other day.
Whoa.
I kid, guys. There's no Korean vendor. He was Filipino. No, I'm kidding. I'm kidding. No, I'm kidding. Steve, the Hold Up TV is one of the most open-minded, culturally diverse, inclusive motherfuckers I've ever known.
Press play, no pause. I'm just open to it all.
Wait, real quick, on the side note, before we lose this, Matt Cat earlier had said, I heard from my source that Aquaman 2 is a mega woke, and they tried their hardest to fix it with the reshoots, but apparently it didn't work. Oh, wowzer.
Also on these internet streets, Shaolin Iceboxer says Jay-Z is a legend, but people aren't checking for his music right now. Exactly. And Shaolin, you're gonna love this. You know who just dropped a new album? Nas, King Disease, the latest volume of King Disease, and this shit is dope. Nas, still relevant.
Oh,
still
really? I gotta check that out. I'll
still making great music, but I'm not into all the drill. I'm not into all the crazy music, so I can't name 2 Future songs. I'm just saying that I thought that was wild that 50 still finds time in his day and making, producing shows, making millions off of the Power universe. You know what I'm saying? He's got the Black Mafia family show on Stars, which is doing amazing, right?
Yeah, Future makes Andrew Tate looks like a feminist.
Absolutely, she's for the streets. She's for the streets. I think, but wait, Mantis, the man had time in his day and all his success to be like, oh, you want me to answer a question about Jay-Z? Yeah, no problem. And like the shit on Jay-Z. I love his troll game. It's like black belt level, 3rd degree black belt level.
You know what I like about the hip hop game, or the old hip hop game?
Right.
You could shoot somebody who was talking shit. You don't see that anymore. These kids are punks.
What are you talking about? There are rappers dying every day.
Yeah, no, independent rappers. Future ain't shooting nobody. You know this. You know that all these mainstream cats, they ain't shooting nobody. But another joke from the Mantis. I'm a little edgy tonight. Obviously, I don't condone shooting people just because they're musical rivals. Maybe make a joke with it.
He once jumped a group of Beatle fans out in front of Tower Records.
Oh, like,
overrated.
Vanilla Ice will always be the best. So I don't know why you're even talking about Jay-Z says low.
Good point. He did go triple platinum. Triple platinum.
Matt says, I'm sorry, I like Future, but he's no Jay-Z. Come on,
man. That's right, man. That's
right. Yeah, no, it's nuts. I will say that what?
Can I ask why the banner is Happy Independence Day?
Yeah. Because I have finally gained my independence.
Oh,
my independence from bullshit. I'm kidding. I saw, in the thumbnail, it looked like an American flag one. I was feeling kind of patriotic. I was like, I love this country. And I put it up and I saw it had Happy Independence Day. And I said, our viewers don't read anyway, so why not?
I also see you got the American flag draped over your bed.
I always have that. That's always like a staple of my thing. Wait, I'm actually about to redo some of my studio.
Okay.
It's going to be America-tastic. Like, I'm going to have a mannequin dressed like George Washington stabbing the devil. But that's neither here nor there.
Okay.
I want to get back into entertainment news. Guys, if we haven't said it already, we'd love it if you like this video. Subscribe to this channel. Keep tuning in to Fanboy Modeling School every Monday, right? We're Monday. Okay. I'm sorry, Daddy hasn't had his medicine yet. Daddy hasn't had his first drop yet. So, but I want to talk about the main topic, the thing that's got me fired up tonight, that's got me so pissed off, got me in a cursing mood. It's everything going on with Florida, because I saw one of the worst, like, manipulative, evil spins I ever done see.
Wait, catch me up real quick. What's going on in Florida?
So do you know, like, do you want me to start from the very beginning?
Yeah, give it to me.
Okay, so Disney decided at one point to chime in about the parental rights and education bill in Florida. Okay. This would be an education bill to stop all, here's what it is, unless parents give specific consent, all sexual education of any kind, whether straight or not straight, is going to stop from K through third.
Okay.
Because what it is there's the whole idea, there has been an argument in the system that gender ideology should be taught at any age. And there's been an increasing thing, and they keep doing it younger and younger. And so Republicans would deem this bill, they would call it the anti-grooming bill.
Okay.
The LGBT community would call it the Don't Say Gay bill. Although in the bill, I'd like to point out, at no point does it ever say that. Right. They were saying a thing that they're like, it's going to say you're not allowed to say that you're gay, and if you say the word gay, you're going to get fired or something crazy like that if you're a teacher.
Okay.
That's not it at all. It's something to stop sexual education from very young children.
Okay. Right? Okay.
So Disney, I don't know why. People have different takes on why they did it, but Disney decided to chime in, and they say we support our LGBT people, and we are against this bill, and to boycott this bill, we are not giving out any Floridian political handouts. Disney, to stay afloat, like any good organized crime agency, they grease the palms. They hand out politicians the money. They decided to stop doing that. That was a huge motherfucking mistake.
Right. Then DeSantis is like, hey, we're going to take your sovereign state.
Yeah. And so for those who don't know, Disney World is on a place called Reedy Creek. And when it was first created, they cut a deal. They were bringing so many jobs to the state. They cut a deal with the state that they were literally their own independent state, complete with their own police force, right to put people on trial. And nowadays, their police force has gotten so powerful, they practically have an army over there. Not that Disney would use it, or would they, right?
I think they would.
They're also tax exempt for some reason. They get every benefit in the world.
Yeah.
Ron DeSantis is like, nope, that's not happening. So everyone said Disney's too powerful. Disney's more powerful than Ron DeSantis. They'll stop Ron DeSantis. Nope, that didn't happen. Ron DeSantis has now put Reedy Creek in the hands of a council.
Oh, no.
The council will tell Disney what they're allowed to do on this thing.
Oh, no.
Disney's pissed. Today, it officially came into law that Disney is lost. They're special. I don't know what it was. Do you remember G.I. Joe?
Yeah.
It was they were basically like Cobra.
Okay.
We're a company in the United States that do whatever the fuck we want, and we'll take you over if we want. It's basically
right.
And so I've seen so many bad takes, so many horrible spin, highly political spin. This is like, yeah, madness.
Wait. Okay. Oh no. No. My mic. Here's the interesting thing about this, man. Let me ask you this question. Do you think that Ron DeSantis is some type of hero for this? Like, do you think he is some freedom fighter fighting for the truth, justice an American way in regard to this?
So I hate politics. I hate all politicians.
Right.
No, there's no politician who's my hero, and I certainly don't believe in any of them. And they are all grimy, self-serving animals. Every goddamn one of them, from that old man who's in office to the other old man who used to be in office. I don't care what side of it on. You're a freaking self-serving, profiteering scumbag if you are a politician. That is the Mantis's take on it.
Right.
So clearly, no for Ron DeSantis.
Okay. So you're not going to vote for Ron DeSantis if he goes into the for election then?
It really depends on the candidates. To be honest, I'm probably going to do some idiotic third party that has no chance of winning, like I did in the other elections.
Right.
But it really depends. Like if they put somebody so absurd on the Democratic ticket, I might do Ron DeSantis, or vice versa.
You're gonna have to Mantis Steve 2024. You're gonna have to run the show for a second. I don't know if you realize what just happened. My mic arm just broke.
I noticed some shit was going on.
Just run the show for a second. It's been a rough night for Steve.
Let's check in with our chant. Mantis, the Beatles are the best band ever. Full stop, says Matt. Okay, I will stop beating up their fans. I'm sorry. Lowe says, does anyone really care about Aquaman 2? With the reboot coming, is Aquaman 2 even relevant? And I'll tell you this. I do care about it. I care about all these final DC movies. You know why? It's my finale to my DCEU. I love the DCEU, and I really hope all four of them are strong. And so I do actually care. It would really be tragic to me if that movie sucked. I want at least one Momoa adventure that I'm going to enjoy before I boycott any and all DC properties. They totally would use their army, says Laney. Absolutely. Yeah, Disney's Chapek stepped in it because he listened to all the pumpkin pie hair cutter freaks they employ, and they have to pay for it. Well, Matt, if you actually look at the day they protested the bill, Disney allowed them. Disney was like, if you want to walk out of work and go protest the bill, you can do it on this given day. And they were like, yeah, let's do it. And news went to go, like, look at it. And it was like 40 people strong. Like out of all of Disney World, they got 40 people to walk out of work and protest. And so my question is, I mean, that's not a lot. I actually don't think they have a lot of employees like that. I would say that I don't think there's a big population of those types anywhere. But our society, media and the news and politics act like there are millions of them. They act like they're all over the place. But I have yet to see a true giant turnout other than like a pride parade. I've yet to see a true big turnout. J.K. Rowling is a perfect example. Their failure to make that boycott happen shows that they do not have the numbers, that the internet makes it look like that. I want to be on the council, says Lowe. Disney can no longer govern the development in their land. Yeah. I want some of that Disney. Yeah, I would have never crossed Florida if I was Disney. I would have just. Here's what I'm saying. I'm not saying I just said all politicians are corrupt. I really do believe that all these powerful corporations, to make things happen, they have to bribe people. These are legal bribes because they're campaign contributions. But Disney shouldn't expect that they can stop. You stop bribing the mafia. What do you think happens? Yeah, that's exactly what happened. The establishment I work at used to govern themselves, but now they're renting out of the space, and all these non-rules disappeared, and we're getting punished for the old ways. Oh, wow. Works for the powerful elite. Disney, Mantis Steve 2024, I'm all about that life. I don't think he is a hero, but anyone that can stick a rod in the bloated rectum of Disney has earned a cheer from me. Yeah, so I agree. I do agree. I am enjoying watching Disney get their comeuppance, just because Disney has ruled an iron fist for so long. It's kind of fun to watch them get put in their place, right? Like they really did think they were untouchable, and I'm kind of glad they're getting convinced. Can I be your Secretary of Transportation? I'll do a good job, bro. Matt, you definitely can. You know why? You'd have to do a better job than Buttigieg. I bet you would not only show up to the derailment of toxic chemical waste transport train, but I think you would have stopped it before it even happened. And he says, I literally have a Beatles quote tattooed on me. They are the kings. Rogers Barnes. Oh, yeah, 2024. Yeah, I mean, I wish they were real people so I could actually vote for them. I should have been a politician. I would have been good for the country and all of you. Low, I think I do actually believe that. I actually do think you'd be an amazing politician. Guys, what are your further thoughts on Disney before I start describing things more?
Oh my God. Could anything else go wrong tonight?
Why did you just say that? Now something is definitely going to go wrong.
The internet just shuts down. So okay, so just back to my point. So you're not capping and you're not simping for DeSantis and this, but I feel as if though a lot of people are feeling like because he does stuff like this, they feel like this is the next great hope, right? He's the next one to bring back conservative ideology. Even though there are some things that he's done that have been completely boss like. So you remember the whole African American studies thing that just came out recently. The first banner you see when it first came out on it's like CNN or MSNBC is like Ron DeSantis says no to African American studies or African American history in school. But then it turns out that in actuality they already teach African American studies, right?
Of course.
And what he actually rejected was other things that had been implanted into the studies, like gender identity and stuff like that.
I do. Yeah, I saw that clip of him being up there, and he says queer theory is taught in African American studies. Like, what is it? How does that make any sense?
He literally he said he's like, what does that have to do with African American studies? So okay, so you're not jumping on the bandwagon. You don't think this is all just him trying to get ready for his run?
I do think it is. Here's the whole thing. That's what politicians are. Politicians do stupid things to try to earn our love and respect. People who, no offense to anyone, if you're really political, if you get down like that, that's your thing. But I think that people fall for their games if they think any one of them are a hero. If anyone thinks that one politician is not going to betray them at the drop of a hat, you're fooling yourself. However, they basically they have to bribe me by giving me what I want. And
Makes
so
sense.
if Ron DeSantis, I'm going to vote for whoever gives me the most, who at least lies to me and says, I'm going to look out for the bald people. I'm going to look out for the nerds. I'm going to make you a streaming king, Mantis. You're going to have 500,000 subscribers. I will vote for that person, whether they're a hero or not.
So you're transactional in your voting process. If this person is dealing with your interests and saying that they're going to be vested in your interest and actually deliver on, that's what you're going to vote on. So you're saying you vote your interest.
I vote my interest, and I gotta say, this is why I'm a capitalist. I realize that all matters in life are transactional.
Absolutely,
we are all in every way, in every single way. We are exchanging goods, services, friendships, warmth, that sort of thing. You're taking a girl out to dinner. I'm not going to finish that analogy because it's going to get me in trouble. But you guys feel me. You know what I mean?
Yeah, I really like Lowe's comment down there. Whichever lies I like more. That's what I vote for.
Perfect. Whichever lies I like. Yeah. Lie to me and tell me you're going to make it happen, daddy.
Tell me it's just a friend and he's hanging out with you in your new dorm in college. Boy, fuck.
Lowe says Disney was acting like they were untouchable and they got touched. Yeah, I really enjoy watching Disney take it on the jaw.
Yeah, they definitely got touched on the chin for sure. Okay, so continue. I'm sorry. Continue.
So Matt says Disney deserves everything they get. Boom, I'm into it. I'm anti-Disney, says Dragon Lady. Yeah, here's what I'm saying. Unfortunately, I have to watch their programs and I have to get down with them. They own Star Wars, they own Marvel, they own a bunch of things. I get it. I have to deal with Disney. But I don't like how big and ginormous and powerful they think they are. And in every example of a future where corporations own us, isn't Disney like one of the corporations people assume is going to own us?
You know, absolutely. You always see that little, the Mickey Mouse statue doing a pose that I can't obviously do. But here's the thing, right? So you hear a term thrown around a lot in regards to cancel culture, right? The big boogeyman, cancel culture. And it's like, no, it's not cancel culture. It's a consequence culture. You know, you're not free from the consequences of the things that you say or do. So why isn't that applicable to Disney, right? They said
Right.
something. They took a moral stance, and now they're experiencing the consequences. You took a moral stance in a state that does not support your morality or your worldview. So now you're experiencing the consequences. So are we supposed to believe now that Disney is somehow the victim in this situation? That there's some altruistic civil right organization that is fighting for truth, justice in the American way? No, I'm not buying it, man. You know?
Yeah, absolutely. I feel it, and I love it. It's so funny when you educate yourself on a matter like this.
Mhm.
I found on both sides their media were crazy spin.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Crazy spin. And so, like, Republicans will hardcore go, they're grooming our children.
Right.
They're all groomers. And the other side will be like, they're having I don't say gay bill. They have the power to arrest a teacher if they admit they're gay. And that's not true at all.
That's very true.
But both parties are making crazy propaganda fighting over the same bill. It's insane.
Man, fuck all that bullshit though. Like any good crackhead though, The Mandalorian comes out on Wednesday, so I don't give a fuck what Ron DeSantis is talking about. Motherfucker, I need to watch The Mandalorian.
We are crackheads, right? Because we know they're evil. We know they're evil. We just watched our drug dealer shoot somebody, and then we're like, "But you're gonna sell me crack, right?"
He needs to be rehabilitated. Dragon Lady says, "I'm anti-Disney." Okay, I get it. I dig it.
Hashtag fangirl.
Hey, there she is.
Welcome in, Bex.
Oh, wait. Bex is here. Do you want to premiere the name? We should talk about it to Bex first, but I missed it when Shaolin dropped the name for the show on Tuesdays.
Right. So our Tuesday show, which, Shaolin, we're publicly giving you credit for this. You said it in chat. I loved it. I thought it was brilliant.
Bex, let us know what you think.
Birds of a feather.
Much better than one light skin, one darky, and one Jew. I just didn't think that was going to fly.
Yo, you gotta be scandalous to get the clicks nowadays. Like Johnny Cash, sooner or later, God will cut you down. That's very true.
Oh, yep.
Yeah, that's absolutely true. Mantis, you watch YouTuber X talk about this? Thoughts? So that's one of the things that got me so riled up.
Wait. Read his next comment before you get into it.
I stopped my membership right after that stream.
Boom. Speak with your money. Someone says or does something that you do not agree with. It's one thing to go on Twitter and rant about it, but do exactly what Matt did. He pulled his financial support. Are you cracking a 40 ounce with your teeth? Oh,
it's technically a wine bottle, which is probably harder to do.
Fanboy after dark, man. We stupid.
Yeah. Yo, I love that. I love what Matt just said. I love what you just said. Absolutely, right? Man,
right.
It's exactly what they're doing to Disney is what Matt did to YouTuber X. You make them pay. And so YouTuber X has this thing where she goes around and she calls her political opinion unicorns. She's like, they're magical unicorns. You never see them, but occasionally they'll appear. That's not true. I stopped being a member from hers like probably a year and a half, maybe 2 years ago, because of her constant infusing leftist politics in conversations about movies.
Right.
And it was just annoying. You're watching something about the latest Marvel thing, and somehow she makes some comment about how Republicans are evil, or conservatives are evil, or Christians are trying to convert everyone. She's anti all that stuff because she's all
and
New York.
And here's what's crazy. One of her favorite movies is The Passion of the Christ. Like, I listened to her talk about why she loves that movie so much. I was like, wow, I did not expect this response from her. Like, I did not expect that type of
watching Jesus suffer.
Stop me dead in my tracks.
But I'm agreeing with Matt because I saw it and I could not believe the spin she put on this. She was like, all right,
tell me the spin. What happened?
So the way I see it is that Ron DeSantis is teaching Disney a lesson. They're slapping their hand, but he's also saying, no, you can't have your own private government within our government. You don't
Okay.
own the land. You don't own the police. That's ridiculous. You certainly can't get out of paying taxes. Like, what is that? And so he's doing comeuppance. She says this is dangerous for democracy because they're interfering in capitalism and interfering with business and how a company does business. In her argument, that would mean a corporation can do whatever the fuck it wants.
So
The government can't interfere with the government. That's ridiculous.
She's all on board with Amazon buying up low end property in Lower Manhattan, and I mean, I'm sorry, not Lower Manhattan, because that would actually impact her in Queens, right? She's okay with that type of stuff, correct? Like that's what she's saying.
She is. I'm pretty sure she is.
Okay,
she's completely like do whatever. Capitalism is king. You know, of course, people are like super into that when you are an upper East Side, you know, rich girl,
right?
And so she just had this crazy spin on it, and she's saying, and she claims that she's like, this is a neutral take. It has nothing to do with our politics. Very much has something to do with politics.
It can't be neutral if you're taking a stance.
Exactly.
It cannot be.
I mean, Matt, what were your particular thoughts on her spin on it?
You know what we should introduce into Fanboy? I know it'd be a huge headache for Mantis, but I'm here for the huge headaches. We should allow people to call in and just vent out their shit. Drop the stream totally into that. Drop the link in the chat and be like, yo, call up, let us know what you're thinking. You won't be on screen now. It's too much work to turn the banner from 2 to 3. Trust me, it's too much work.
No, it's too much. But here's what I'm saying: I could have them call me on Instagram.
Oh, good point.
Should we open up the calls?
Open up the calls. If you want to call in, tell us your feelings about this entire thing. Call in.
The phone lines are open, guys. If anyone wants to hit me up on Instagram in messages and call me have an audio call, you'll be online.
Wait, why would you use Instagram? We forgot about Discord.
Well, not everyone is a Discord member.
Oh, right. Everyone has IG.
Yeah, that was my first thought, but I was like, maybe I don't think everyone is. I still have never been able to find you, YouTuber X. Really? I guess we'll send you videos of this disgusting monster. Disney had an agreement that was unprecedented. Dissolving it doesn't interrupt capitalism. If anything, it levels the playing field. Boom. I agree with that.
It proves one very important point, which is they had the deal that they had because they were in alignment with the state that allowed them to have these privileges, right? The state has the right to revoke these privileges at any given point.
Right. Should it have gone on forever that they get some they're tax exempt and control this thing? Yeah. No one's re-looking at that deal and whether it's a good deal or not. Yeah, please. Yes, please add call-ins. Yeah, Lo, if you want to call in. I was the same with you, man. Just you said that corporations and the government can make regulations on regular people. It was Narts. Narts? Farts?
Nuts. It was nuts.
There we go. It is nuts. She thinks that Disney, she's such a Disney shill. She thinks they should be able to do whatever they want to people's and their lives.
Right.
And like, imagine what kind of justice you'd get in Disney, like in Reedy Creek.
Bro, here's the bottom line, man. And I hate to be the curmudgeon on this thing, man. I am not a poli-sci major. I'm not a poli-sci major. But the one thing I can tell you is this: Disney stepped outside the lines of the agreement. And if the state legally can revoke these things, there's no crime here. This is not an attack on democracy because, one, Disney is not a democratic state.
Yes.
It's not an attack on capitalism because capitalism supports the notion that we're all in alignment to capitalize off said venture. If you and I are no longer in alignment, capitalism also dictates that we can separate. You still exist in my territory, right? You enjoy the benefits of existing in my territory. In fact, me and Mrs. Holdup are thinking about retiring to Florida because of the no state tax thing. You know what I'm saying? You don't pay state taxes. It's a good deal. But that is also supported by the fact of how much money Disney brings in.
Have you really considered this?
Oh yeah, 100%. 100%.
Oh wow, I didn't know that.
Yeah, 100%. 100%. We've talked about it multiple times. We went down to go see some family of hers in Florida. And when I was there, it dawned on me because the last time I was in Florida before that was spring break. You know, I went to Miami to be a scumbag for a week and had a great time and did it better than anyone else.
Yeah,
But I would really move down there.
I'm just gonna say though, remember, beware of Florida man.
Why?
Florida man, you know Florida man.
Hell no. Oh, what, the zombie motherfucker?
Florida man is the wild lunatic who does crazy things like he's like Florida man throws alligator at person he's in fist fight with. Florida man tries to jump a bridge after stealing an ice cream truck. Florida man eats a man's face while on bath salts.
Don't go. Wait, Shallon Iceboxer says, "Don't go, Steve. You'll be underwater within 10 years."
Right, that is the thing. The first thing will flood will be Florida.
Will be Florida. It's true. It's true.
Matt says, you know what drives me drives me also a little crazy is she's also said this would hurt his presidential run and wouldn't get elected, which I thought was false. I'm with you on that. She's delusional if she thinks that Disney's powerful enough to like people's love of Disney will make them not vote for Ron DeSantis.
Maybe not their love of Disney, but liberal ideology. And I'm saying that in the most respectful way possible, right? If there are enough people who identify with the message that Disney is projecting, it could 100% hurt his campaign, but that doesn't mean it will stop his campaign.
It won't dead him. It won't dead in the water. They're not that powerful. And so Matt, she is not a moderate in the slight. She is hard left. And I'll give you an example of why she's hard left. You know that whole Andrea Riseborough thing? I don't want to bore you guys unless you're really into the Oscars. But there was debate whether this one white woman should be nominated. And they noticed that there were no black women nominated. And so in one of YouTuber X's live streams, she said one of these white women should stand down and give their nomination to a black actress. That
Amen.
Anyone who says that is a flaming leftist because it's illogical. It's a contest, and you're going to give your nomination to someone else. That's nuts. That's absolutely insane. Low says every time I search for YouTuber X, nothing shows up. It's because we actually don't want to give her. We don't want to give her a shout out. So we're using a code word for her.
We're using a code word for Grace Randolph. Sorry.
You love naming people's names.
Well, you've named her a couple of times when you were completely in your anger. You're like, I said YouTuber X, and you're like, no, call her by her name.
No, there was an episode a couple weeks ago. I was so angry. Lo says, sadly, I got to head to Dreamland and frolic with the Mantis of my dreams. Love you, Lo. Thank you for coming in.
Have a good one. Have a good one.
Yeah, Steve, I would move to Florida in a heartbeat, but my wifey says no. Women, am I right?
No.
Yeah, have a good one, Lo. Shaolin says, yeah, you'll be under 10 water in 10. I love Florida man. Yeah, Florida man. You got to watch for Florida man.
Yo, Matt coming with the smoke. When you get to that comment, that is the best comment of the night. No, not that one. Is that Matt bringing the heat?
And Matt, I also agree with you. I love that Andrea Riseborough stuff. I do too. It's so ridiculous. People nowadays are so ridiculous, and I know people get annoyed when people talk about wokeness, woke this, woke that. I think people don't have the word for what's going on. It's not just wokeness, but it's an absurd, insane mentality that affects people when they're, you know what I mean?
Yeah, no, 100%. So what most people are looking for is a fair and balanced approach to things, right? There are certain things that we would all agree on. There are certain things that we would disagree on. And I think when the pendulum starts to swing left or right in the extreme, that's when we get into some weird territory. But as of right now, as I told my good friend Eamon, man, right now it's far left. The pendulum has swung far left, and we're experiencing the repercussions of that. And we see that there's no real altruistic belief structure in it. It's just a bunch of nonsense, bro. I do agree that all Americans should have the same fundamental rights. I don't agree that all Americans should have the same fundamental outcomes. You know what I'm saying? It doesn't make sense. You do definitely get what you put in. Do I agree that the system can be corrupt? Yes. Do I agree that it's entirely corrupt all the time? No, I agree that the system is corrupt based on which group is in power at the time, which is why I choose to be an independent. I understand that right and left are both, as Da Vinci would say, two wings of the same dying bird.
Oh, hell yeah. Hell yeah. However, I don't think the bird is dying. I think it's healthy as ever because people are fighting politically so mad, and that makes it healthy. As long as people buy into the system, it's a healthy bird.
That's why you're an American shill.
See how many flags I have in here, man?
Look at all these flags. I must love America.
He says yes, absolutely. So there's all this crazy stuff going on down there in Florida. I am proud of Ron DeSantis for what he did. He certainly is making himself look like a hero right now.
100%. 100%.
We still have a long way to the presidency. We'll see how debates go. We'll see if he says something stupid along the way.
So here's the thing: he still is not projected to beat Trump in the primaries.
I'm not understand. Once again, I'm not trying to hate on any Trump supporters, but I don't get it. You know, like I never got it. So I just don't. Yeah, I don't get.
Here's what I understand about Trump and his campaign. Right, people respond to Trump, whether you think it's correct or not. They respond to Trump and they see him as this alpha male leader. Right. And it brings them back to a day of yesteryear when American leaders were not indecisive, when they weren't overly apologetic when it came to American interest. Right. These are all the complaints that people had about the Obama administration. They felt like he was overly apologetic. Right. In regards to American
interest. Yeah. Oh, yeah. Yeah. And so, yeah, don't even get me started because I'm like, everyone's like, yeah, I'm basically a libertarian who believes in universal health care.
Right.
I think his apologetic ways ruined my healthcare, but that's for a different stream.
But at the end of the day, like Shalin just said, Trump is clearly scared of him. Hilarious to watch.
Yes, he's super
whether
scared.
or not it's true or not, to Trump's base, it does not appear that he's scared. It just appears that Trump is willing to take on all comers. And mark my words, that's what his base wants. Now, Trump's Achilles heel in this entire thing is he galvanizes his base, right? They are going to go out and support him. But unfortunately, he also galvanizes his opposition.
Yes. They've never been more galvanized because there's literally a mental illness named for hating on him.
Yeah, absolutely. Absolutely. Let's get the fuck out of here. Mandalorian, Wednesday, right. Baby Yoda, more important.
You got to admit that East Palestine thing was gold. I'm not a fan, and I thought that deserved applause. I agree. And we were talking about the stunts politicians make. Trump, you heard what Trump did, right?
What did that beautiful orange pineapple do this time?
Meanwhile, while Biden goes to Ukraine and ignores the Ohio East Palestine spill, and Buttigieg, it's his sole job to do that, is avoiding it. Trump goes down there and he buys all the people cleaning up the fire and the firefighters and the toxic waste specialists McDonald's.
Not the McDonald's again. Didn't he get in trouble for this already?
He loves McDonald's. He himself eats it, so it's almost like a thing. But he cheaped out. He got a Mickey D's. People loved it. People were like, "Look, he's a hero. He bought me an Egg McMuffin."
Well, wait. Back in the day, if someone bought us Egg McMuffins, I'd be like, "I'll die for this motherfucker."
Oh my god, man! In my early 20s, I didn't have a dime to my name, and I was just like, "Really? Who do you want me to kill for it?
Who needs to die for this?"
Laney says, "I just don't understand how he could even be a potential for running after all the shenanigans that happened on his turn." Well, everyone from January 6th has been deemed a hero on that on that side and that way of thinking. So they don't see it as
Just a
insurrection.
bunch of grandmas protesting. That's what that was. According to Candace Owens.
I'm a libertarian also, Mantis. Yeah, I could tell. I could tell, Matt, that you know what's up. Libertarians unite. Hell yeah, Laney. I'm telling you, more and more we're being considered a little less crazy.
Ooh, Matt says, Steve, I'm also excited for Mandalorian season 3. I'm super gassed for this third season, man. I think it's gonna be amazing.
Have you seen this helmet thing on Twitter?
No, what's going on?
Oh my god, I freaking love it. So the Mandalorian, the show, like Twitter account, they have a picture of a Mandalorian helmet, and they're like, "You want to see more? Give us a like." So if you click at a like, they tweet out a personalized message to you with a different image of a helmet, Mandalorian helmet, and if you like that, they'll do another one. I've been doing this all day. And they just keep sending me a different, and because basically they're promoting the season as this is the season that he's gonna unite the clans of Mandalorians, and there's gonna be mad different Mandalorians with different helmets and stuff coming through.
It's gonna be amazing, man. It's
great marketing. It's brilliant.
Absolutely great marketing. Absolutely great marketing. How much are you looking forward to this first episode?
I would kill.
Okay.
Just to see 2 minutes of it. Matt says, I'm not a fan of Baby Yoda anymore, though.
Ooh. Okay.
Wow. I admit that I think we've talked about this, man. I don't like that Baby Yoda got reintroduced to the story so quickly. Like, he left, and then he just came right back, 2 episodes later.
Actually, I'm a fan of the fact that he made his way out of the failed attempt by Luke Skywalker to start another Jedi Academy just for them to get slaughtered. So I'm okay with it. My biggest complaint about the end of season 2 was, if this is all for him to be trained under Luke and it ties into canon that he just gets killed, I want no parts with it.
He has 25 years to train and then leave before anyone's slaughtered.
No. Don't try to pull that bullshit on me, bro. Listen to me.
He has plenty of time to train and not get slaughtered.
Listen, Lucasfilm, if Favreau and these guys did not fix this, they were like, no. Baby Yoda would have died.
Baby Yoda's gonna live. Don't worry, Baby Yoda will live. But he is. I think he is gonna train.
Yeah, because Favreau and them said, no, we will not be tied to that bullshit ass trilogy. We won't be tied to it.
No, they seem to be going the opposite because they keep hinting at the other trilogy. They're playing nice. And so remember they had that Snoke reference in one episode.
Yeah, they're headed to a soft reboot. I'm telling you, man. James Gunn has showed us the way. Soft.
James Gunn and his reboots. He doesn't even know the word. He's strange. He's like an amazing director. He doesn't know what the word reboot means.
You're just mad because you'll never be able to sleep with his wife. You're just another internet troll.
No. Well, here's the thing. Because he's like an older dude. She's like older dude blonde hot. She's not really blonde hot, if you know what I mean.
Oh, okay. So you're turning her away at the bar, is what you're saying.
I could bag a much hotter chick than James Gunn's wife.
He's watching right now. James is gonna see this and he's gonna be like,
I hope he is, so he can realize how to actually run a freaking movie studio. For starters, bring back Henry Cavill. Stop being a moron before I go back in time and I bitch slap your mother for smoking crack while she was pregnant with you, James Gunn.
So I'm glad you brought that up, man, because every time I watch the Flash trailer, I'm just like, man, this shit's amazing. But there's always one lingering thought, like Hamlet talking to me as if I was a skull. Imagine how much better this movie would be if it wasn't Supergirl and it was just straight up Superman that they found.
Yeah. Because in the comic,
yes.
I agree. I still the trailer just looks so good. I just can't wait to sink my teeth in
stop being a simp, man. Imagine if it was actually emaciated Henry Cavill and not Supergirl.
I mean, that would be better. That would be a million times better.
Yeah.
But right now with DC, I gotta take what I can get at this point. I like critiquing Marvel because Marvel's rich and they have all this crap coming out. DC, I have to just be like, okay, I got to take what I got to get.
Your implicit bias is coming out. You're like, fuck Marvel. DC, he's trying to get into rehab. He's doing better. He's better with the kids.
I'm about to forgive him. If this movie is good, I will forgive the shit out of him. Just like if he bought me an Egg McMuffin, I'd forgive him. Matt says, I wish that they would have taken a season of no Baby Yoda and then bring him back after a season. The kid is just a liability. I agree. I would love, maybe not a full season, but I would way more than just 1 or 2 episodes. They should have absolutely had him gone for a while so we actually missed the dude. And he could train
I
a
can
little.
see that.
He could train him. Mantis, I fell for that Twitter helmet thing. Yeah, it goes on forever. Have you guys heard the rumor of what's going on forward? No, I have not. We're going to have a group of the most popular characters in a movie, led by Rey, with Grogu, Chewie, R2-D2, and an original character.
No,
where did you hear that?
That sounds insane.
That's making me angry for some reason.
He's filling with rage.
Is that making you feel angry?
No.
They're trivializing Star Wars.
It's okay. It's okay.
Yes, Steve. I wish we had gotten a pure adaptation of Flashpoint. Yeah, no, it would have been great, but wait. So I'm this is baffling to me. The most popular characters, led by Rey, with Grogu, Chewie, R2-D2. This sounds like a Marvel comic book.
Like, why are you always shitting on Marvel? Like why are you always shitting?
Did you see Ant-Man?
I did see Ant-Man. Did we actually cover Ant-Man?
I don't. Yes, we did. We covered Ant-Man last week. So we don't have to talk about the details of the movie, but like, we haven't covered its 70%, drop, which is incredibly high for a movie.
It's a new record breaker.
It's a new record breaker for Marvel, like of just sucking it up.
It wasn't good.
It's not good. Like I remember, I gave it a 4. You gave it a 6.
Yeah.
I'm sorry. I'm not supposed to
that face Mantis made is the most feminist face he's ever made, because in that moment, Mantis knew what it was like to be a woman who thought she was going home with a guy who had at least 9 inches, and it turned out it was 3. That's the same face that they make.
Ant-Man is definitely 3 inches.
3 inches. 3 inches.
We're now rating movies on cock size.
It's 3 inches.
Really is fanboy after dark.
3 inches long, 1 inch wide. Every woman in here will resonate with that. They're like, no. I'm like, no.
I don't know. I'm a girthy guy. I'm like 3 inches wide.
My penis is as relevant as the French Revolution.
We've really entered a really weird place with this show right now.
At any rate. So.
Okay, so Mando's starting, damn, only 2 days away. I can't believe that. I want to say that snuck up on us, but really it's taken years. It's like 2 years since we've seen Mando.
Yeah, no, it's been a long rollout, yeah.
But finally, quality programming returns to Star Wars. Finally, I can cover a quality show. I'm really excited.
Do you feel like you're going to experience any Pedro burnout?
You know what? He's just such a different character in Last of Us than he is.
Yeah. In Last of Us, he's not taking care of a young person that he has to
sucking at it. He just sucks at it, man. Having him watch a girl in the apocalypse is the same thing as having no one watch her. Because he's just like, I'm old and I can't do shit. However, Mando can do shit.
Okay, that's why I dig it. That was a strong argument.
I'm not having any Pedro burnout.
Right.
I hope I don't have Baby Yoda burnout. What do you think of that?
No, I don't feel like there's any Baby Yoda burnout. The only thing I think that you can associate with negativity in regards to Baby Yoda, it has to do more with the Boba Fett show than it does with Baby Yoda because I actually enjoyed Baby Yoda's return. I enjoyed that segue
Oh
of
yeah,
how Mando met up with him, so I'm able to differentiate between those two things.
I just think
I'm
it's happened
okay.
too early. I think it's just
No, I'm okay with it. I'm okay with it. You know why I'm okay with it? Because I never gave in to the fanfare of he's going to be a true gray Jedi. He's going to learn the Mandalorian ways and he'll have the Jedi ways. No, I'm just like, no, man. This is a story about a dad and a son. And the dad got his son back. Like any dad worth his shit. He was like, wait, hold on a fucking minute. I'm going to go visit him. I'm going to drop these gifts off. And like any kid that knows they have a dad that's worth the shit, they're like, I don't want to hang out with this dirty hippie anymore in the fucking woods. I want to go back to my dad. My dad knows the way. Do you understand what I'm saying?
But what I really love, and like I've said it before, my whole theory is that Luke is putting Grogu on the same path he walked.
I hope not, according to the canon.
Boomerang. It's a boomerang. He will come back to Luke, just as Luke came back to Yoda. Yoda gave him a choice. He said, "You can go help your friends. You can train, but if you leave here, you'll never be a Jedi." And
That
Luke
choice
laughed,
happened
but
within
that
a
was
day.
the right choice to make.
That choice happened within a day. That was the same day.
But yeah, you know what happened. But what I'm saying is, I love that callback that he's doing the same thing his master did to him. Wonderful, wonderful connection.
Yeah, no, I dig it, man. I dig it. You know, it's hard not being a shill. I get it.
Matt said, "You are a Marvel shill. I am a Star Wars shill. This is the problem. This is the problem with the show." Matt says, "So what I saw online was that they got all the Lucasfilm people together and asked where they go from here, and it was going to be too expensive to redo everything and go back to the original trilogy.
Okay.
It's good to have a girthy root. Yes, it is. Thank you, my friend.
Yes, thank you, Matt. Thank you,
Yeah,
Matt.
don't forget to like this video. Yeah, seriously, thank you for that. Matt is a true content creator because he knows how hard it is to get someone to slap a like button.
Yeah, it's true. Shout out to Zach from Talking with a Dad. His famous words were, "You don't know how hard it is to get someone to click on something."
He goes, yeah, right. So let me ask you: do you think that the whole Ant-Man, what's going on with Ant-Man, is it a sign that Marvel or the superhero genre is dying? Did the bubble burst on superheroes?
No, I don't think it's a bubble that bursts on superhero shit because then the boys, even though you can say it's an anti-superhero genre, it's not a like it's not superhero fatigue. It's just proof that the MCU should not have gone beyond the point of Endgame. Like I'll die on this hill, man. I will die on this hill. You call a movie Endgame, it should have ended there.
They should have absolutely not called. I agree with that. None of that felt like a true ending. It would really wrap everything up with a beautiful bow.
Everything about that movie felt like it was a. And we're looking at it. I don't think people really understand the entire thing about how we look at like Star Wars and stuff like that, right? The reason we're okay with a prequel trilogy is because this happened before, and the reason we reject the new trilogy is because this is bad. This story ended exactly where it needed to. We're okay with the medium of books when it comes to like legend and stuff like that because it's books, right? It's okay. Okay, this is what could have possibly happened.
Or Matt says they should have stopped and then started over after Endgame. I don't think start over. I think they should have taken a couple-year break. 100%. And then we would be hyped when the first Marvel movie came back.
If they took a 6-year break in between Endgame and fucking Loki, hell yeah, we would have been fucking hyped.
Oh my God, imagine if they actually made us wait to catch up to the year the MCU.
Wait, let's keep it a buck. I was okay with Far From Home being the movie that came out after Endgame, and I think it carried. I think it carried its weight. And if they would have done like Far From Home and No Way Home after that, then I would have been okay with that conclusion. It's like okay, so they tied up the Spider-Man shit, but. Go ahead.
I totally agree. That was actually, I also too was like, you're not ending it on an Avengers movie, but that was a good going away to Tony Stark.
Yeah.
But having a Spider-Man adventure, that was like cool.
100%. 100%. If it would have all ended with us getting Spider-Man proper, that same moment where you realize like, okay, this is no longer Iron Lad. This is Spider-Man running through the city. He's coming into his own. That would have been a great way to end it. And then give it maybe 2 years and we get into the X-Men property. That would have been a better relaunch.
Oh yeah. And so we ask ourselves at the end of Endgame, well, what more can you tell us? What more story do you have? And
None, apparently.
Phase 4 proved that they didn't have any more story, and it's just everything just fell flat.
Yeah, and also because they wouldn't lean into things, right? So Loki was a great offering. WandaVision was a great offering. Falcon, Winter Soldier, an okay offering, but it's just, Eternals, no.
Oh,
No.
oh God, don't even get me started on Eternals. Yes, for the break, Mantis. It also didn't help that they were giving Z-list character spotlights. It's crazy what they're doing. And it's crazy that, for instance, that they thought that Miss Marvel was going to bring people in. It's crazy that they thought Eternals would bring.
Crazy. It's crazy what they did to Moon Knight. They had the opportunity to introduce a street level. Never mind. Go ahead. Never mind. I'm really most pissed at Moon Knight, the offering.
Okay.
Like that, I really do think that they screwed the pooch on that one. 100%.
I didn't. Here's what it is. I like Moon Knight, and I kind of like that show. I'm fine with that show. I think it was decent. It just could have been way better. They didn't really portray the factors that I like about Moon Knight. Mainly that he's a street level vigilante who likes to beat the shit out of people. And I wish they had done that. Instead, they got him fighting an old man with a cane.
Yeah,
turns into
no
a
one
giant.
Doesn't talk about old man Ethan Hawke. No one cares. No
yeah,
one cares.
That's not the villain I would have put him up against.
And then they fuck up Blade. I will never fucking let this shit go, bro.
How hard is it? How do you fuck up Blade? That's an easy. They even had a roadmap from the old ones. Right?
I cannot fucking believe that they fucked it up.
It shouldn't be so hard to zero in on a script for Blade. He's a badass. He's black. He kills vampires. What more do you need?
Right? Oh, Laney coming with the smoke. And Laney says, Miss Marvel was better than She-Hulk.
She-Hulk, it was. It absolutely was.
Laney, allow me to speak in the language of a woman right now. Is a 4-inch dick that much better than a 3-inch dick? Is it really that
much? We went there. While she's singing her answer, Shaolin says Shang-Chi and Eternals. Come on. I like Shang-Chi, but come on. Yes, absolutely. That's my thing. And so I think Shaolin, between you and me, I had my issues with Shang-Chi. And the main thing was the final everything that happened in that village at the end really just did not sit right with me. Lady says depends on how it's used, right? It's the motion in the ocean.
No, Laney's capping right now. It's not the motion in the ocean.
Matt, this 4 inches is fine. Yeah, let's not shame the wee dicks, please. Not that I have that problem. But Shang-Chi,
right?
The final 40 minutes of it just ticked me the F off, man. It was so bad.
I love that movie. I love that movie, man.
I really was enjoying it. And then they're like, you go to a mystical village, and then he does Tai Chi with his magic aunt he never met. She's like, here, let's do some Tai Chi. And he's like, okay. Now I know how to defeat my father. All of a sudden, out of the blue. And then the end is that stupid giant war. Yeah, I could just go on. Don't even get me started.
Listen, my problem with Shang-Chi is that they tried to make it like the next Black Panther. No one wants to hear this, right? But they were like, hey, we really capitalized off the black dollar with Black Panther. And they thought they were going to get the same response with Shang-Chi, but they didn't.
Chinese people rejected it. They were like, yeah. This is not really Chinese.
I don't know if Chinese people rejected it. I know China rejected it, right?
Yeah. It's for instance, you know about the hotness factor thing?
Oh, go for it.
So apparently, they don't like the look of the actor they got for Shang-Chi because he's not Asian hot. He's Western hot.
What?
They want someone who looks more like BTS or an anime guy. In Asia, in the Chinese, in China, Japan, Korea, and that whole area, they like a guy who's like slender, slightly effeminate, kind of like thing. We got a guy who's American hot, and so Chinese audiences were bitching about how Shang-Chi looked.
Oh yeah, yeah. No. Not my business.
Is that crazy?
Not my business, but moronic.
I mean, people are picky. People are picky, right? But that's
People
what
are.
made it seem like it wasn't not authentic Asian. You know.
I feel like we're all over the place, but I just want to make we are going to talk about Aquaman too.
Yes,
right?
we are. We are. We are.
Okay.
Matt says, "I'd rather jerk off with sandpaper than watch She-Hulk again." I'm with you. I double that. I double that. I absolutely double that. Dragon Lady says, "No, it's of disappointment." Matt says, "Shang-Chi was trash. What was with the the demon at the end, the fight at the end with the war and the dragons? It just became a mess. I feel at the end."
I mean, there was a great
4
point.
inches.
There was a great point with the what is it called? The Phantom, and what is the name of that fucking thing? The Phantom in the dark or some shit. When
Wait, in Shang-Chi?
Yeah, when it when they was getting its soul upgrade and it burst out of the the little water typhoon it was in, I thought that was great, but otherwise than that, I thought it was a silly villain.
Yeah, yeah. It was. I would have rather just seen a crazy kung fu fight between him and his dad. And then at the end, I want him to do a fatality. I want him to like beat his father and just like rip his heart out and go, "Fatality, bitch!"
Did you know that they actually changed Shang-Chi to have the 10 rings proper from MCU in the comics?
Oh, I'm sure. I know that. I know that the comics are now subservient to the movies, which is why I stopped respecting the comics. You always wonder. You're like, Roy, why are you always shit on the comics? Because now they're just advertising for the movies, and they're not their own independent art form. And
Right.
I don't respect that.
Right.
Like
right.
you know about Nick Fury Jr., right?
Well, that's what they did with the Sam Jackson version
Yeah,
of
to
Nick
make the
Fury,
Sam Jackson in the 616.
yeah.
They're like they got rid of the white Nick Fury, and they're like his son is black and looks like Samuel Jackson. And I was like, so they're making everything like the movies, and I'm just not.
Matt is continuing to bring the heat. That's a good one, Matt.
Well, that's the stupidest thing I've ever heard, says Laney. Shellen says, no body shaming. I agree. Matt says, isn't Simu Liu Canadian? Gross. Yes, the actor who plays Shang-Chi. Actually, I love the show he was on, Kim's Convenience.
You do love that show.
Yeah, it's really fun. I think it's super funny.
You're like one of 4 people.
It's amazing. No, it's amazing. You need to partake in this, brother.
No, I won't. I only like things that millions of people like.
Yeah, because you're a shill. You're like, it's popular, so it must be good.
Exactly. Is that not the metric we should live by? Like, wait, millions of people watch this? It must be good.
In that argument, that would mean that like Facebook is good.
I love Facebook.
In that argument, I don't know. Disney is good. Is Disney good?
Disney had a great time in Epcot. Pause.
As long as they don't groom your children, right? But yo, you want to talk about Aquaman? I can tell you're dying to talk about Aquaman.
Yeah, I really want to talk about Aquaman because some of the speculation surrounding this, and I'm just going to go for the low-hanging fruit, is the reason that Aquaman. So Jeff Snyder, John Campea said that he had heard this is the most disappointing movie, or it's not as good as part 1, right? And Jeff Snyder didn't enjoy Aquaman 1. So here's my question to you. So some of the speculation is that this movie is being torpedoed, and that's why they want to bring him over to Lobo, which I think is very low-hanging fruit. I think he'd be a great Lobo. What do you think about that? Do you think that the movie is so bad that it's just like, let's just get him over to a property we can use him in?
This is why they needed a Kevin Feige. Even though Kevin Feige has been doing his job at Marvel, but DC needed someone to oversee all the movies. That's what a producer does. Oversees them and look at the stupid parts of it and go, he should say to James Wan, what is this? This is not marketable. You need to make this good or get the fuck out of my studio.
Right.
That's what I want to see. And so the fact that all these guys were able to make their movies unhindered, like, Wonder Woman 1984, Birds of Prey, and all, Shazam, the Shazam movies, all these things, there is no head producer who works with all of them trying to rein them in.
Right.
This is like a serious problem. So Lowe earlier said, who cares about Aquaman because they're going to end? I want the finality of the DCEU to be good. I actually care about
100%.
So I would really, I want it to be good. It's not on track to be good. I'm hearing these horrible things. People are saying it's the worst DC movie ever. How could this be?
Well, what is the worst DCU movie?
I would say Birds of Prey.
Really? Okay.
What would you say?
I'm gonna have to say it's gonna be Batman versus Superman, the standard cut.
That is pretty bad. That's pretty bad.
It's so bad on so many different levels, right?
But it has good parts in it, though.
Does it? Does it have good parts? What are the good parts?
Well, Batman in the warehouse.
Okay,
that was the best Batman action sequence.
That is the best Batman fight scene ever.
I just wish there was more of that throughout the movie. If we can make a movie about that, let's do that.
Right.
Also, I have to say there was a montage in the middle, which I actually think they should have opened with. I actually have decided, I think I've told you guys that I've rewatched the extended cut, and I've figured out a cut that I believe that if I had editing equipment and like a staff of maybe 2 guys, I could make that movie watchable and fun. But anyway, Batman v Superman.
Okay.
And I actually think the opening sequence should be what I'm about to say. In the middle of the movie, which should be the opening scene, I don't know why it isn't. It's a montage of Superman saving all these people around the world, and it's so uplifting. Like he's in Mexico during the Day of the Dead, and he saves them, and all the people want to touch him. They're like acting like he's a god. There's a part where he grabs the nuclear weapon, is a nuclear missile, and he's stopping it from crashing down. And he safely puts it, and it's just a montage of him doing all these lovely things. Like he's like a woman. She's on her roof, and a flood is destroying her town. And she looks up, and she sees the silhouette of Superman looking down at her.
Yeah,
beautiful, beautiful scene.
100%. I can agree with that.
Matt says, "Yeah, I talked to Paul Chato on a stream one time, and he says it's really woke." Oh man. Well, what are your thoughts, Steve, and Chad as well, about this incessant need to invoke? I guess there's no other word for it. Wokeness into franchises. What are your thoughts?
So here's my thing. I think sometimes wokeness can be code for something else, but I do believe at a certain point that you can be heavy-handed in your approach and inserting political ideology, right, or worldviews into it. I think anything that's written well can be great, right? Like, so if you write in an original character who's a part of the LGBTQ plus community, and you work that in as a part of that original character, I'm cool with that. I just don't like substituting older characters for no reason and like race bending him and doing all that shit. I think it takes away from what we're actually doing. So that's my stance on that. I really do believe that also when people like these companies like Disney, right? When they're trying to be woke, like a character like Kamala Khan, I'm okay with her. Like surface level, it's about a young girl who got hit with the Terrigen Mist in the comics. She gets powers, and now we're watching another young person adapt to their powers. Even though the powers aren't overly original, because obviously we're looking at Reed Richards, I'm okay with that at its base level. But when you make it this thing where it's like, she's the first, I'm like, okay, but who cares? Who cares if it's not written?
Yeah, who absolutely cares? Is they're like, She's the first Muslim American superhero in the MCU.
But if it's
I don't
not
care.
written-
Am I going to be
it's not
entertained by
written
her
well,
show?
But she isn't the first. There are characters that they don't want to bring up that were Muslim because they were painted in a derogatory sense or in a negative sense.
Oh, well,
Yeah.
also they're trying to make everyone the first. Everyone's the first everything.
Yeah.
Captain Marvel was the first Avenger. No, she wasn't. Captain America in the 40s was.
Yeah, him and Namor.
Yeah, Namor goes back to the colonial times. So
And the original Human Torch. But that's my response to that, man. All I really want from my comic book movies are okay, here's my case in point. Blue Marvel. You know why everyone loves Blue Marvel? Because even though he changes the entire dichotomy of Marvel comics, the story is written so well that you're just like, oh damn, this is dope. Right? He's a superhero, 1968 era that had to keep his mask on because of the era he was in.
He'd be a great story. He'd be a great story.
It's
he
written
should
well.
get a Disney Plus show. His story in the 50s would be great.
Yeah, no, 100%. That's my answer.
Yeah, Paul Chato is a former Hollywood exec. He has a YouTube channel with almost 100K subs. So I believe him. Maybe. Yeah. No, I think I know who you're talking about. He's the older guy. He's an older guy, and he kind of it's just him talking. He doesn't put any production value in it. I know the guy. I definitely trust him. Kellen says I can't decide if Justice League's a Whedon version or Birds of Prey. I'd say Birds of Prey because there's literally nothing redeemable about it.
I'm going Whedon. I think Justice League Whedon is the worst.
That was pretty bad. Honestly, easier to think of DC.
And I saw that in the theater.
It's actually easier to think of DC movies that are good. Yeah, because there's only like 2 of them. Hey guys, I have to go because my phone is about to die, but this was a great stream, and I'll listen to the rest when I get home. Yo, have a good one, Matt. Always a pleasure. God bless, brother. I like Blue Marvel also. Okay.
Yeah, great story. Great story.
But like ultimately, like I want these finales to be good. The question is, am I, the Mantis, really gonna boycott James Gunn's new DC?
No, you're not. You're not going to boycott it in the sense where you're not going to cover it. You're not going to not see anything that comes out. You'll see what you want to see, and it's appropriate to do that. But we may be facing the harsh reality, which is superhero fatigue is on us because of the reasons we didn't suspect. Most people thought superhero movie fatigue would come from just oversaturation. They never considered that it might come from a lack of content, right? The lack of the quality of content. And that's where we are. People don't want to go see these movies because they suck, bro. I got to be honest with you, man. Ant-Man sucked. And there might be truth to Aquaman 2 sucking, man. Like, I want to see these movies because they mean so much to me, but I want them to be good. I don't want to go pile into the theaters over nostalgia. I want to enjoy the movie.
Yes, absolutely. Well said. Well said. So check this out. I have a theory. I was going to originally save it for one of my videos, but I think here on Fanboy Modeling School, I will talk about it first.
Go for it.
Okay, so what are they going to do with all these Avengers? They have so many Avengers. They don't know what to do with them, right?
Right.
So the rumor is that Wanda is going to have her own love triangle and series of love triangles.
No.
Over, and I believe they're going to create the West Coast Avengers. However, what's even crazier about that is I have a feeling they're going to pack most of the black people in the West Coast Avengers. It's going to be like... It's going to be separate but equal, brother.
San Andreas. MCU.
Yeah.
Okay.
Because, they turned Wonder Man. Because here's what it is. It's going to be a love triangle between Vision, the Scarlet Witch, and Wonder Man. And they've turned Wonder Man black.
Yeah.
That's the cast of black guy. But also, War Machine is going to be the head of that. team.
No one cares. No one cares. No one cares. It should just end, man. It should just end like a good stream and a good podcast. You always know when you come to the end of a stream, you hit this moment where you're like, all right, guys, have a great night. We had so much fun.
No offense. It's funny we're getting personal now. I think that you believe that, but sometimes I'll be on a roll. I'm like, I'm on a roll. And then you're like,
yeah, I'm
well,
sure
this has been a great cast. And I'm like, motherfucker. I mean, they're eating out of my hands right now. I can go
yeah,
4
that's
hours.
what Kevin Feige thinks. Kevin Feige's like, they're eating out of my hands. It's great. And it's just like, it's not great. It's not great. It's not great.
You're just getting self-conscious, man.
I don't run the comic book divisions, comic movie division.
Oh, I thought you meant for podcasting.
No. In general, I'm saying you got to know when to end, man. You have to know when to end.
You have to know when to leave a party. You have to know when to end a relationship. You have to know when to end your story.
Yeah.
And I do think that, to a certain extent, it ended on Endgame. I don't think I honestly think every, with the exception of Eternals, every Phase 4 movie and show at its heart has a good story in it, but they just kind of shat him out and they didn't put thought into it. I think that if they took a couple of years, if they waited 2 or 3 years and they're like, Marvel returns, people imagine the first movie in Phase 4. That would be endless lines, people going to see what that is.
Yes,
and
absolutely.
They clearly didn't have a coherent story. Like all the other phases, at least you knew they were leading to that Avengers movie. This led to nothing.
Also, maybe they should look at what didn't work in the comics, right? So the multiverse shenanigans in the comics have not always been great. I think that Jonathan Hickman's run is great in spite of multiverse shenanigans,
right?
Because he actually made all that stuff make sense. There was so much bullshit that prior to Time Runs Out, and then obviously Battle World, Secret Wars proper, this new one. Well, you just have to think about it, man. Like, they have not done this well. They have not landed it well. I don't understand how Falcon rolls into Ant-Man 3 at all. None of this shit is connected, and they've lost the magic that made it great. And I think DC is also guilty of this. Like, I'm going to go see the Flash movie. It looks like it's going to be amazing. It looks like it's going to be the best movie ever, but it suffers from the same ailments that their other movies have suffered from. Why am I looking at Supergirl? Why am I not looking at Superman? Why am I looking at Michael Keaton Batman? Why am I not looking at Ben Affleck Batman?
Right. Do you think that the Supergirl decision was a woke one? Do you think that's wokeness?
It could have been woke, but that doesn't matter to me as the way I digest media. It doesn't matter to me that it was woke. It just matters to me that it was bad. It was a bad choice. It's a bad choice on an iconic story. Right. And maybe it'll translate well when I go see the movie, right? Maybe I'll be like, oh man, I can see why they did this. I'll leave that margin of space. But at the end of the day, I'm just like, if this is going to relaunch the new DC universe, fuck this shit, man. Fuck this shit. Really fuck this shit.
I'm just like so not about the new one. You know what I'm saying? I got to see what they actually put out. What's going on?
Blue Beetle? Are you expecting me to believe that James Gunn thinks that Blue Beetle is going to usher in the new DC universe?
I got to see it to believe it. I'm a skeptic. I'm an absolute skeptic. Yeah. I'm really angry with Marvel right now. I would actually say I'm like super angry.
I'm right there with you. I'm right there with you, man. But again, I'm on record saying I don't think Kang should have been the big bad for this next saga.
Here's what it is. I'm fine with Kang being the villain.
Fuck that bullshit.
But here's what I'm saying. They should have made him actually a capable villain in this movie, in Ant-Man. He should have been killing people. He should have killed Ant-Man.
Yeah. Oh, that would have been so great.
That would have been wonderful if he killed Ant-Man, or he did some other things, or maybe we get to watch him kill an other dimensional version of a character like Thor or something.
No, how about we just have something with stakes in it? If he killed Ant-Man and then you brought Ant-Man back, we'd be okay with that as long as he came back.
I wouldn't want to see Ant-Man come back. We don't need Ant-Man. Ant-Man suddenly did his trilogy. Maybe he should save the day in a way, but still at the end die.
Yes. Yeah, bro, I was convinced that movie was going to end with that portal closing and Kang fucking choking him to death.
I gotta say, I think I've told you. I think we were talking about this in our last review last week. I was ashamed that Kang didn't take apart Ant-Man immediately when it came down to hand fisticuffs.
He took him down, but I didn't understand what was the never mind. Actually, I don't want to go through it again. Here's my issue, right? None of it makes sense. Werewolf by Night, great individually, doesn't make sense when it's connected to this bullshit. And you know that's my fucking bread and butter. Why do you have a connected universe where none of this shit makes sense? WandaVision, they reference the Nexus. It really doesn't make any sense because she fucking dies at the end of. I don't want it. Why did we have What If? Why did we have Evil Strange? Who's none of it makes sense. None of it makes sense. I want off.
Watching you lose your mind right now is totally worth the price of admission.
I want off this ride.
Anyone, he wants off the ride. Oh damn! I never thought you'd be saying that about Marvel.
I want off the ride. None of it makes sense, bro. None of it makes sense at all.
No, because like Wanda's was a story about magic and in magic, tomes of magic and demons and shit. No other part of the MCU is about that.
Right.
Kang, they're always like Kang had to pop up in Quantumania. You've been doing Phase 4 for 2 years. He could have popped up in any of those movies. Why does it have to be Ant-Man? What are you fucking talking? It's almost like they put him in the last minute,
dude. And here we all thought, or at least I thought, that he was coming in to kill Ant-Man. I was like,
Ant-Man should have died. Ant-Man should have absolutely died.
100%.
I would have loved it if the Wasp and his daughter made it out alive, but everyone else got killed.
Yeah.
By
there was nothing threatening. Actually, in retrospect, there's nothing threatening about Kang in that movie. The way it ended, there's nothing like that makes me think he's a big bad. I don't give a fuck. There's like a million of them. They all suck. They all suck. That's one of them.
I gotta say, didn't you think that scene was like silly?
100%. I was just like, because it didn't land. Never.
Yeah, I mean, Thanos starts out physically fisticuffs, beating the shit out of the Hulk so bad the Hulk doesn't ever want to transform again. Yet this dude does nothing.
He choked Loki the fuck out in front of his brother.
Yeah, in front of his brother. Like it's a game to him. And so we see Kang, and I'm like, I'm ready for it. And he brings literally nothing to the table.
His hardest scene is the moment you think he's gonna fuck Michelle Pfeiffer. And that's not, I'm not on some like Pornhub.
I think he should have fucked her. You know me. I think they should have fucked earlier in the storyline. I think they should have.
Yeah.
I think instead of the Bill Murray character, she should have been fucking him.
Yeah.
I'll watch that flashback. Fuck yeah.
Get me out of here, man. I've had a horrible day. I drove through snow. I need to go to sleep. I need to recuperate.
You have tomorrow off, or you going out? You're venturing out in the snow again?
No. I have tomorrow off during the day, unless the kids have to go to school, and I will be back for. Bex never chimed in for Blurs of a Feather. You know,
she jumped into our stream and then left like a cold-blooded motherfucker.
Yeah, like my dad.
Yeah, like my dad too. Except he doesn't come to my streams. Haven't seen him since I was 5. So there we go. At the end of the day, fuck you, Bex. No.
No. We're not
kidding. I kid. She knows I'm kidding. She knows I love her. But let's see. Hopefully she will be ready to do an episode of Blurs of a Feather named. Thank you, Shaolin Iceboxer, for naming that for us. But I've had an amazing time talking about this.
Right.
Yeah. You got any final thoughts? Shout outs?
No final thoughts, shout outs. I mean, obviously, tune in for Rogue Planet Wednesday nights on YouTube and Twitch. Tune in for Conversations That Matter on Tuesday nights, 10 p.m. on YouTube and all other shenanigans. Also, Pillow Talk with the Princess Bex on Spoon, 10 p.m. All that shit.
This Friday, we're having a very special episode with Rogue Radio. We're going to be doing Conspiracy Hour.
This Friday. And Men Supporting Men.
Men Supporting Men is every 2 weeks. So we won't be doing one this week, but we love all the support, and the fans stuck around. We love you. Thank you so much for that.
Yeah, absolutely. My brother, thank you for being so patient tonight as I went through all the motions. Mike stand falling apart, driving through the snow. I appreciate you.
We're all feeling all sorts of emotions. Lainey says, peace, love, and chicken grease. Thank you. And,
oh, that's right. And Dragon Lady will be on Conversations That Matter on the 7th.
Oh, nice.
Yeah, it's going to be a good show. It's going to be a show.
Yeah. But until next time, ciao for now, bitches.
I got to pee.
Look at him skate early. What a punk.